Fighting broke out overnight between rival factions along the Israeli.
For
We are from the Chiroos universe.
Hey everyone, I'm Anson Aswat, the creator behind the Arc-like Spanner and the Chiroos NFT project. Welcome to the podcast. If you're into Web3, NFTs, or just love exploring creative spaces, you're in the right place. Today I'm excited to dive into the Chiroos universe. So, what's it all about? Well, we're not just another NFT project. I mean, sure, we do have a 6,666 token profile picture collection that's designed to stand out and is full of character and packed with style, but we're taking things a step further with our on chain meme coin Chi. It's not just for show, guys, it's integrated into the Discord games and Twitter raids, and it adds a fun gamified layer that keeps our community engaged and energized. And it doesn't stop there. We're partnered with Nifty Island to create a virtual space where holders can grab exclusive items and really get into the Cheeros experience. It's all about bringing fresh, fun vibes back to Web3 and making sure our community feels like they're part of something big. So, if you're curious about why Cheeros is making waves in the NFT world, stick around. We're going to dive deep into what makes our project special and why it's setting a new standard for community driven NFTs in Web3. Let's get started.
So, we have some big things coming in the pipeline for Q2 2025. We're gonna be hosting our own auctions on whatnot. We're gonna be selling trading cards and trading card games and collectibles, so stay tuned for that. Now, with us, we have Pele D. He's from Pawpular, which is an app to help pet parents walk their pets and earn rewards. Stay tuned and check out the interview that we had with him earlier. Pawpular is the first pet focused platform leveraging Web3 and NFTs. What was the driving force behind this idea?
So I'll go back a little bit that when we started back in 2013. It was mainly a platform to share information between pet parents, adoption, lost pets, and whatnot. We did have a huge, in a way, database of users, close to 100,000 on Web2. The purpose of the platform when it started was mainly to, ask questions. Let's say how you've used the service in your area, and how pets don't talk, and they don't know if like if like people don't know if the service that they've used, the person was like that person was a good service provider, for example. So the platform was, you've used a veterinarian, you're on a platform, I can ask you questions. For example, how was that veterinarian? How was the visit? How was he? And all that stuff. And that's how we started. We added adoption and lost pets. And most of us on in the project were web 2 when we started, but most of us are tech people. So, a lot of us are in web 3, in crypto and NFT space. So we decided, let's say, to get more exposure, more funding and whatnot, we want to transition to Web3 NFT space and build, on the blockchain and do all that stuff just to get more exposure and to get, maybe some funding to keep our platform going. Because most of the stuff that we've done so far, which maybe all of it, is we haven't generated any funds, mainly for free. We've done it because we love animals, we love tech, and we wanted to make a change, and we've done all that over time. But you get to a point where you need to build more. You want to make a change. Instead of saving a couple thousand animals a year, we want to maybe one day save 1 million animals, just be able to provide, be able to support. And that's why we transitioned to that space. And that's where we are today. Yeah. And so mainly just to get exposure, like I said, and most of us are in Web 3. We love crypto. We're students of, learning what Web 3 is. We love NFTs as well. And we decided to do this change.
How do you think blockchain technology enhances the pet ownership experience?
It does, because what we're trying to do, we're trying to build a platform where you can store all your information. So part of our popular is, beside the walk to inside and whatnot, you'll be able to eventually to store information regarding of that particular pet. So we have an option eventually where you can transfer ownership of your pet. So let's say you adopt out pets, And you create a profile for your pet. Every profile when it's created, you'll have in a way, a digital footprint on the blockchain by Popular. You can maintain all your pet records. For example, anything you do with your pet, you'll be able to upload to a blockchain. Vet visit, subscriptions, X-rays, and whatnot, and all that stuff. And you'll be able to upload all that supported by the blockchain, and you can use that over time. Let's say you want to adopt out your pet. All you got to do, transfer ownership of that particular pet. All the information that's stored on the blockchain will go to that particular person, plus adoptions as well. So the main thing too is adoptions. We do see a lot of people adopt out pets and they abandon their pets and whatnot. So what we're trying to do, we're trying, so if you're a nonprofit, you'll be able to list your adoptable pets on Popular. So you have to be a nonprofit, and all nonprofits go through a manual process to make sure they're actually nonprofits. And by doing that, it takes away sort of uh, in a way, it keeps us away from doing the research. Let's say if you're somebody wants to adopt a pet, you have to do a background check and all that stuff. That way, the nonprofits do that. We're just providing a platform, but every pet that gets adopted, all information gets listed on the blockchain. So let's say one day you abandon your pet, you'll be able to know, for example, who adopted that particular pet, when they were adopted, and all the information regarding that particular pet. So that's the cool thing about that part. There's a lot more to it. Eventually, in the future, we have a couple of different ideas that we'll be working on, which integrates AI and all that stuff. And with the power of blockchain, and we put that together, we're looking to make a big change eventually. That's why it's like it'll be like decentralized science. That's what we're looking for as well at the end of this.
Okay, you mentioned something about walking pets to earn. Can you walk us through how the reward system works?
Definitely, definitely. So even if you don't have pets, you can actually still earn. You'll earn half of the rewards. So we're trying to promote healthy lifestyles for everybody, because most of us, work from home. Most of us don't get out as much. So it's good to build that relationship between us and pets, and between the relationship between us and going for a walk and seeing people, and helping. Mental health is important as well. So the way the app is, anyone can download the app. It's free for anyone. You would not need an NFT to download the app and use it. So you can download the app, create a profile for your pet, and you can walk during the day. So let's say I walk 10,000 steps during that particular day, I will earn half of the rewards. And there's two walks that you have to start manually. So whenever you're ready to go out for a walk, you choose a pet. Let's say I'm walking, one of my pets' name is Zorro. I'll choose Zorro. Now I have to walk for minimum 30 minutes and 1,000 steps away from my home. So if I complete that, I will earn um, the other quarter of so by walking by yourself, you earn half of the rewards. By doing one walk, you earn the other quarter. And then if you're doing the second walk, you'll earn the second quarter. So half by yourself, half with your pets, 30 minutes, 1,000 steps away from your home at least. And then you wait 2 hours in between, so there's a 2 hour wait. That way you don't start the walks right after the other. We want you to get out as much as possible, take your pet out as much as possible. So you would have to wait at least 2 hours in between walks to walk again. So that's how the app works now. You can only choose one particular pet. In our next phase, which is happening in March, that's our next mint, the app will be ready to, you know, it'll be ready to actually walk more pets. So by acquiring an additional NFT, which is called Pop Pets Go Collar NFT, you'll acquire that NFT, you'll stick that NFT to your second pet, and now when you go for a walk, you'll choose, let's say, pet one, pet two, and now you're earning double the rewards. If you have additional pets, you can add additional 5 pets maximum. So let's say you have 5 pets, and then one for free, that's 6. You'll be able to earn a multiplier of 6 by acquiring these particular NFTs. And then you do the 2 walks. Instead of earning 10 tokens a day, you'll be able to earn additional 40, and that'll be 50. But plus, we do have our first NFT, which is called the Crying Elephant. If you have these NFTs, and you'll be able to stick 2 NFTs together, and that doubles your rewards. So there's a lot of ways to earn more just by acquiring an NFT.
So you have to acquire a color NFT for every pet, right?
Yeah, so if you, let's say, if you have, like myself, I have 5 pets. I'll acquire another 4 NFTs, and I'll stake these NFTs to my pets. And by doing that, now I can actually walk more than one. So when I go for a walk, I can choose five and then walk them together and then earn a multiplier of five.
So many pet owners might not be familiar with Web3. How do you plan to make blockchain technology accessible and user friendly for mainstream pet parents?
So what we've been working on in the past quarter or so, and we'll when we have our next mint, that'll be ready as well. We're trying to make it a platform where you would actually it'll be neutral. So it'll be like a Web 2 or Web 3. So you download the app, you don't see much. All will say earn rewards, and you as a pet parent, you'll be able to walk and earn. And these particular rewards, as we call them tokens, you'll be able to use towards a particular service. So on our platform, you'll eventually have pet service providers, let's say a groomer, a veterinarian, whatnot, you'll walk and earn. And by doing that, the rewards that you're earning, you'll be able to allocate towards booking a service. That way, you would not need to know anything about a blockchain. You would not need to know anything about a wallet until you're ready. So you would not need a wallet. These will go towards like a point system in a way, and then you'll be able to use that towards a particular service. But at the back end, everything will still be like a blockchain based Web three and whatnot. But you would not see that, and then it'll help you. As a Web two person, it'll make you feel safer in a way because a lot of these Web two users feel like Web three is not safe. By us doing that, it gives you a platform. You can download it, walk and earn, and do whatever you need to do with these particular points that you're earning as tokens. And then you can donate them as well. So if you want to donate them to a particular nonprofit, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to donate them towards someone's adoption fee. Let's say if somebody's adopting out pets and they can't afford, let's say, to pay for adoption fees, you'll be able to donate these tokens, whatnot. So yeah, we're trying to make it a Web 2.5 base. So mainly all the wordings, everything you see there will be, for anyone neutral. And if you're a Web3 person, you'll be able to connect your wallet. You'll be able to withdraw these tokens to a DEX or eventually in center exchange as well. So, but if you're a Web 2 person, no problem. You can use these points to buy a service, book a service, to buy a product, or donate them.
So, can you give us a sneak peek into any exciting new features or development that popular users can look forward to in the near future?
But what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to build an AI system where you can actually scan your pet. So let's say your dog is sick and your dog maybe has some different type of disease, whatever the case is. All you would gotta do is you would be able with our app to scan your pet, and the AI will take a 3D picture of your pet, and by doing that you will get rewards for it. But at the same time, it'll enter our system where you would actually know now if there's, let's say, 10 whatever the scans, let's say 50 scans of the same look, and that, let's say, this pet has a heart disease, for example, right? And then the AI will configure all that out. So eventually in the future we get to a point where your pet's sick, you don't know what's wrong with it. If some people don't have money to afford to take them to a vet or whatever the case is, you'll be able to take a picture of your pet and the AI will tell you maybe your pet has this type of disease. Maybe you should look into it. So we're trying to build in a way a decentralized, they call it DeSci, so decentralized science, a platform where we can actually help pet parents build a database about all these issues with pets, and at the same time too, we want to build eventually in the future, hopefully in the next, not sure how many years, 4 or 5 years, you'll be able to, let's say, if you adopt out a pet, you can scan a picture of your pet and that goes on the blockchain, and this pet is lost and somebody finds that pet and there's no tag and there's no chip, you'll scan them with our app and you'll find out who owns that particular pet. So we're just working on a couple things that actually make this happen. And then we understand probably take money and hopefully 3-4 years down the road, but we want to work on that and then get that going to help pet parents to help as much as possible too.
So, where do you see Popular in the next 5 years?
We're just trying to build we I don't know if you know, but we have a physical product as well, which is a tracker that connects your pets to your NFTs. So what these trackers do is, there's two types of trackers. One would be a GPS, one would be an ultra wideband. Ultra wideband uses the Apple network. It's sort of like an air tag, so it tags back to Apple network, it tags back to our network, but there's no monthly fee. With the GPS there'll be a monthly subscription just to track your pets. But what these trackers do is They track activities of your pet, like same as humans, for example, steps taken daily, calories burned, active minutes, and whatnot. And on top of that, they have a couple other features, mainly the GPS. What it does is like it tracks sleeping pattern of your pet. It sees like your pet sleeping between certain times during the day, how much it's moving, for example, how many calories burned, how many steps taken daily. And if it sees any discrepancies, it will let you know as an owner. It will tell you like, for example, your pet was sleeping between 12 and 6. Now they're not. They're moving maybe a couple thousand steps a day. Now they're not. Maybe there's an issue with your pet. You should take your pet out to the doctor or whatnot. So these are the trackers that we're going to be rolling out in the second quarter of this year. They've already been tested out. At the moment we're working on development side of the app, but they do have a lot of great features too on top of what I mentioned too. Let's say there's a QR code in every tracker. Let's say your pet gets lost, the tracker dies, there's no power in it anymore, somebody finds your pet, they can scan the QR code, and it gives them the information about your pet as well. So there's a lot of features. We're hoping to get to the point where we are all around, pet ecosystem to help. It's not mainly just for us to generate funds because, like I said, we've been doing this for 11 years without any funding. It's all us, and we haven't sold any products or any NFTs yet. Our first NFT was a mint. Just mainly, we want to support pet parents, keeping their pets healthy, supporting them as well, support shelters, with donations, adoption fees as well, assistant of strays as well. There's a lot of things that we want to do. We can get to a point in about 5 years as a company to do most of these things to mainly support, like I said, pet parents, support pets' health, and then, nonprofits as well.
Can you give us an idea of the ecosystem behind Popular and maybe the goals and some of the mission behind the organization?
Definitely, definitely. So for Popular, like I said earlier, we started back in 2013 as a platform to help pet parents and help lost pets and adoption. We did transition to a Web3 company focusing mainly on animal welfare. So we have an app at the moment where you can download Walk and Earn with your pets. We do have some features to support our ecosystem. So in the future, because a lot of walk to earn platforms don't last too long, but with our system is just there's a lot of aspect to the business that will support this business to keep going on forever. So for we would actually eventually have a business section. So for business section, we invite like all pet service providers to join our platform through an NFT, which is called Business NFT as a service provider. By doing that, they can provide their services to our community. So for you as a Popular community member, whatever you earn on the platform, you'll be able to use towards a particular service and a product as well. But for you as a business, we give you a platform to run your business, which we did have that before on Web 2. We're bridging that over. Let's say you're a small business, you're a pet walker, you're a groomer, whatever the case is. We give you tools to run your business. By acquiring that NFT, you'll be able now to run your business. For example, taking payments in cryptocurrency, running your team, booking system, invoicing and whatnot, anything to do with running a small business, all with the power of NFTs. As well, you'll be able to create your own NFTs, utility based NFTs in the future too. As well, we do have a social impact. So, our part of the platform is to have nonprofits on the platform. So, these nonprofits can list on Popular. By doing that, they go through a manual process. And after they get accepted, they can accept now donations in the form of cryptocurrencies and then NFTs as well. Because most of nonprofits, there's a lot of middlemen in the middle, so you lose a lot of money, by accepting donations, 3% to Visa, whatever the case is. With us, it'll be straightforward. We're not a middleman. We're just a platform to list these nonprofits and make sure that they're actually nonprofits for you to donate to. And by doing that, we don't take anything. All the money goes straight to them. But we give them platform to show what they do, what they established. That way, people will donate to them right on the platform as well. And then your donations will all be on the blockchain. So if you're curious where the donations go, you can check it out all there as well. On top of that, too, we do have an adoption section. The purpose of the adoption section is to showcase showcase pets to people. So let's say a lot of pets in shelters or sanctuaries, they got left out, nobody sees them. So we want to give a platform to people to see adoptable pets in their area or other countries, whatever the case is. On top of that, we want to support them by donating from Popular, and we give users um, a way to support the adoption fee. So if you want to pay for someone's adoption fee, let's say you like that particular pet, you can say there's a $10 from me towards their adoption fee. So if anybody wants to adopt that pet, they can do that. At the same time, you can support your nonprofit by saying, I want to donate $5 towards that pet's food. So all that stuff will happen through on the platform. We will not take anything. All the money goes straight to them, all transparent on the blockchain. And anything, all the pets that get adopted, they all get recorded on the blockchain for transparency. So these are some of the features that we have on our platform. Plus, there's a lot more, but these are the main features. Plus the physical tracker that we have that will be on there as well. But 25% of all our tokens are allocated to shelters, nonprofit organization, adoptions, assistance of strays, and more. Plus, 9% of all our tokens are allocated to changing laws. So, we are live in Canada, and most of first world countries, they do have laws that don't protect animals. Like you can leave your animal outside in the heat, in the cold, and whatnot. There's a lot of other laws that don't favor animals, and we're here to change that. So by allocating a 9% of our tokens towards that, what we do is we hire our own lawyers, and we'll fight them to change these laws and make them possible to protect the animals as much as possible. So that's a little bit about our business. And, like I said, we have an app. It's free. You can always download it and check us out, and then support all your nonprofits. A lot of people in the world love animals. Even if you're a Web 2 person, Web 3 person, we're the platform for that.
So I see you guys also have some tokenomics and a white paper. Is there anything you want to say about your tokens that are on chain that the Popular utilizes?
So we do have two tokens. One is walk to earn, so it will only be earned through walk to earn. So that one will not be allocated to anyone. So you can only earn it by walk to earn. That way, eventually, if regulations come out and they're tough, uh, it will not be a security because it will only be earned through walking. We do have a token for the platform, which is governance token for Popular. That's a 3 billion maximum. And there's if you look at the white paper, there's it's distributed to like I said, 25% of that is allocated to donations, shelters, and whatnot. There's I believe about 20% allocated to staking. So you'll be able to stake your tokens from walk to earn, and you'll be able to earn rewards on the governance from the governance token by staking your walk to earn tokens as well. And there's some funds for the team, marketing, and and then running the business and whatnot. So that's the second token, which is a governance token. We're hoping to launch that, and that's not going to be happening anytime soon. The walk to earn one will be hopefully the second quarter after regulations are done in the US. It'll probably be passed down to Canada, and then after that we'll work on the governance token towards the end of this year.
And that's a wrap for this episode of the Chiroos universe. We'd like to thank Pele D for coming to talk about his app Popular, and we wish him the greatest success in the future. If you're interested in NFTs or just want to vibe with our community, come check us out on Discord, and you'll see all the great things that we'll be up to, and we're going to be rolling out in the coming weeks and months. Thanks for tuning in.